Hello there. In this video we're going to take a quick look around the Windows 10 desktop environment and get familiar with its features. The desktop is your first destination in Windows, and it's the place that allows you to get to everything else on your computer. So the first thing we really need to do is get familiar with the different areas of the desktop and what they actually do for us. So the area in the center of the screen here that takes up the most space is what we generally refer to as the desktop. Usually this is also where we can find icons for our installed programs and applications. And this area can easily and quickly become cluttered with a sea of icons that can really make it hard to find anything. I tend to avoid putting things here personally, but we'll talk about ways we can clean that up and organize the desktop in another video. So let's take a look at some of the different areas. At the bottom of the desktop, you'll usually find what's referred to as the taskbar. Now, this might not be at the bottom for everyone. There are some customizations you can do that might move this to the sides of the screen or even to the top of the screen, or you may have hidden it altogether. The taskbar is an area where you may also find shortcuts to your applications that you most commonly use. These icons on the taskbar not only allow me to start applications, but they also give me the ability to see which applications I already have open and even get a preview of what they're currently showing. For example, I see that one of these icons down here has a little line underneath it. That's because that application is currently open and running on my computer, and if I hover my mouse over the icon, I can actually get a preview of what's in that application currently, or the current state of that application. If I move my mouse up a little bit over the preview, it'll actually show me a full screen preview of that application as well. So this is really handy when I have multiple applications running and I want to quickly see what's going on in any particular application. Now, your taskbar may look a little bit different than mine. It might even be a different color. You have many options for changing the color and the look of not only the taskbar, but just about every part of the Windows desktop. We'll cover customizing them in other videos. For now, there are some other items that we should take a look at on our taskbar. For example, on the taskbar, at least on mine, you'll see a box that says Ask Me Anything. And this allows you to interact with one of the newer features of Windows 10, which is Cortana. Cortana is a virtual assistant similar to Apple's Siri or Amazon's Alexa. So in this case, I have a text interface where I can just click here and I can type in anything and it will give me information. It lets me search my computer. It lets me search the internet. I can also put in questions and Cortana will try her best to answer those questions. So this can be really useful for finding things on your computer. You may also have a little microphone icon here. This microphone icon lets you ask questions using speech, so you can actually talk to your computer. So that gives us some access to search capabilities as well as some other things. We won't go into too much depth on Cortana in this video. Now, on the far right hand side of my taskbar is the clock. So this clock shows me the current time. It also shows me the current date, and if you click on it, you can see a calendar as well. Just to the right of the time and date is the Action Center. The Action Center gives me quick access to different options in my computer. I can get to the different types of settings, I can get to my network settings. If I'm on a laptop or mobile device, I can even put it in airplane mode. This turns off all the wireless Wi-Fi signals, things like that. Outside of this, up above, if you have any notifications on your computer, for example, if there's any errors or things going wrong, those will show up here in the Action Center. Now, to the left of the clock, we have a couple of different icons. This is what's traditionally referred to in older versions of Windows as the system tray. And this gives me quick access to some settings as well. I can see my current battery status. I happen to be filming this on a laptop. I can also see my current internet connection, whether I'm wireless or wired. I can get to the volume settings fairly quickly. If I click on that, I can actually adjust the volume on my computer. And to the left of those, I have a little up arrow that actually shows me more items that are in the system tray. This will be different for everyone based on what applications you currently have running on your computer. And this also gives you a way of interacting with these different applications. For example, I can see that my video card has a little exclamation point here. If I hover my mouse over it, it tells me that there's an update for my video drivers in Windows. So this is a nice little place where you can get extra information about the things that are currently running on your computer. Now, on the far left hand side of our taskbar, we have the Windows icon. This icon in Windows 10 opens up your Start menu. And the Start menu experience in Windows 10 is very similar to older versions of Windows. So Windows XP, Windows 2000, they all had this nice Start menu experience. And the Start menu is where most people went when they needed to launch their applications. So in another video, we'll go into more depth on not only the sections of the Start menu here, but how to customize your Start menu. So we'll just do a quick overview. The left-hand side gives us access to some common things like how to shut down and restart our computer. Also quick access to our settings by clicking on the little gear icon here. In the middle section of our Start menu is an alphabetical list of the applications installed on the computer. In previous versions of Windows, this was a section called All Programs. It is a scrollable list, so I can use my mouse to scroll down through all the applications that are installed. And up toward the top, I have recently added and most used applications as well. On the right-hand side of the Start menu, we have our tiles. These are much easier to use, especially for touchscreen devices, and this is what you might be more familiar with if you're coming from a Windows 8 machine. So this is what we usually call the Start screen. In Windows 10 they've gone back to a Start menu, but they've added the same types of smart tiles here. So these tiles will give me information like what the current weather is, and again, these can be completely different depending on how you have your computer set up. You can categorize these, put them into groups, give those groups names. So the Start menu is where you're going to go a lot of the time to get to a lot of your commonly used applications. In future videos, I'll go into more depth on customizing your desktop, customizing your taskbar, and customizing your Start menu. So that's a quick overview of the Windows 10 desktop. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.